You wake up and your knees ache before you even get out of bed. By midday, your energy has already crashed. By evening, your brain feels foggy and slow. You have been told this is just aging. But here is the truth that most people never hear. What you are experiencing is not just the passage of time. It is inflammation. And the food on your plate is either putting out that fire or pouring fuel on it every single day. After 40, chronic low-grade inflammation becomes one of the biggest threats to your health. It silently attacks your joints, disrupts your hormones, clouds your thinking, and accelerates every single marker of biological aging. But here is the good news. Your body has a remarkable ability to heal when you give it the right tools. And those tools are not expensive supplements or complicated protocols. They are foods you can buy at any grocery store. In this video, I am going to walk you through the 7 most powerful anti-inflammatory foods backed by science, optimized for people over 40, and practical enough to add to your very next meal. Stay until number 1 because it is the most underestimated food on this entire list, and it is probably already in your kitchen right now. What is inflammation and why does it get worse after 40? Before we get to the foods, you need to understand what you are dealing with. There are 2 kinds of inflammation. The first kind is acute inflammation. That is your immune system doing its job when you cut your finger or catch a cold. It flares up, does its work, and goes away. That kind of inflammation saves your life. The second kind is chronic inflammation. This is a low-grade, constant immune response that does not turn off. It simmers in the background for months and years, slowly breaking down healthy tissue, damaging blood vessels, degrading joint cartilage, and interfering with brain function. Researchers now link chronic inflammation to arthritis, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and accelerated skin aging. After 40, 3 things happen that make this worse. Estrogen, which has natural anti-inflammatory properties, begins to decline. The gut microbiome, which regulates immune function, shifts and becomes less diverse. And the body's production of antioxidants, your natural inflammation firefighters, starts to slow down. The result is what researchers call inflammaging, a state of chronic, age-related inflammation that compounds over time. Every food on this list directly targets one or more of these mechanisms. Let us start with number 7. Food 7. Turmeric. The golden inflammation switch. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years. But now modern science has confirmed exactly why it works. The active compound in turmeric is called curcumin, and it is one of the most well-studied natural anti-inflammatories in existence. Curcumin works by directly blocking NF-κB, which is the molecular switch that turns on the genes responsible for inflammation in your body. When NF-κB is activated, inflammation spreads. Curcumin turns that switch off. A 2019 review published in the journal Foods analyzed 23 randomized controlled trials and found curcumin supplementation significantly reduced markers of inflammation, including CRP and interleukin-6, the same markers elevated in people with arthritis, heart disease, and metabolic syndrome. For seniors and anyone over 40, joint inflammation is often the first place this shows up. Studies show curcumin reduces joint pain and stiffness as effectively as ibuprofen in people with knee osteoarthritis without the gut damage that comes with long-term NSAID use. The key is bioavailability. Curcumin on its own is poorly absorbed. But combining it with black pepper, which contains piperine, increases absorption by up to 2,000%. Use turmeric in curries, golden milk, soups, or scrambled eggs. Always add a pinch of black pepper. Food 6. Fatty fish. The omega-3 powerhouse salmon, sardines, mackerel, and trout are among the most anti-inflammatory foods you can eat. The reason is their extraordinary concentration of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These fatty acids are the direct precursors to compounds called resolvins and protectins, molecules your body makes to actively resolve and shut down inflammatory processes. A 2021 meta-analysis in the journal Nutrients found that regular omega-3 consumption significantly reduced CRP, TNF-alpha, and interleukin-6, the three primary inflammatory markers, across multiple chronic disease states. For people over 40, omega-3s are particularly important because the modern diet is overwhelmingly high in omega-6 fatty acids from processed foods and seed oils. This imbalance, which can reach ratios of 20:1 in favor of omega-6, pushes the body into a pro-inflammatory state. 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week begins to correct that ratio. If you are vegetarian, ground flaxseed and walnuts provide ALA, the plant-based omega-3, though the conversion to EPA and DHA is less efficient. Food 5. Ginger, the digestive and joint soother. Ginger is one of the most versatile anti-inflammatory foods in the world, and it works through 2 distinct pathways that make it especially valuable after 40. First, it inhibits the same COX-2 enzyme that pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs target, but through a gentler, natural mechanism that does not damage the stomach lining. Second, it contains compounds called gingerols and shogals that reduce the production of prostaglandins, which are key drivers of pain and swelling in arthritic joints. A study in the journal Osteoarthritis and Cartilage found that participants who took ginger extract experienced significantly less knee pain and required fewer pain medications compared to the placebo group. Beyond joints, ginger is a powerful gut soother. Because gut health directly governs immune function and inflammation levels through the gut-immune axis, improving gut health with ginger has a systemic anti-inflammatory effect throughout the body. Fresh ginger in hot water is one of the simplest and most effective anti-inflammatory habits you can build. Aim for 1 to 2 inches of fresh ginger daily. Food 4. Leafy greens. The antioxidant shield spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and collard greens are nutritional powerhouses loaded with antioxidants including vitamins C, E, and K, as well as flavonoids and carotenoids that directly neutralize the free radicals that drive oxidative stress and inflammation. Vitamin K in particular plays a critical role after 40. It activates proteins that regulate calcium and reduce arterial inflammation, and research shows low vitamin K status is strongly associated with increased inflammatory markers in older adults. A large-scale study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who consumed the highest amounts of leafy greens had significantly lower levels of the inflammatory marker CRP compared to those who ate the least. For people over 40, leafy greens also support the estrobolome, the gut bacteria responsible for metabolizing estrogen, helping to smooth the hormonal fluctuations that amplify inflammation during perimenopause. Aim for 2 to 3 cups of leafy greens daily. Massage raw kale with olive oil and lemon to break down its fibers and improve nutrient absorption. Food 3. Berries, the brain and body protectors. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are among the most antioxidant-dense foods on the planet. Their color comes from compounds called anthocyanins, which are among the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents studied in human trials. Anthocyanins work by scavenging free radicals, suppressing inflammatory cytokines, and protecting the blood-brain barrier from inflammatory damage. This brain protective quality is especially important after 40, when neuroinflammation begins to contribute to memory lapses, slower processing, and increased risk of cognitive decline. A landmark Harvard study tracking 16,000 women over 18 years found that those who consumed 2 or more servings of blueberries per week delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years compared to those who consumed none. Berries are also low in sugar relative to their fiber content, meaning they do not spike blood glucose, which is its own driver of inflammation. Add half a cup to your morning oats or yogurt every single day. Frozen berries are just as effective as fresh and far more economical. Food 2. Extra virgin olive oil, nature's liquid anti-inflammatory. Extra virgin olive oil is the cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, the most studied anti-inflammatory eating pattern in the world. Its power comes from two compounds, oleocanthal and oleic acid. Oleocanthal inhibits the same inflammatory enzymes as ibuprofen, a property first discovered when researchers noticed fresh olive oil produces a mild burn in the throat, the same sensation caused by anti-inflammatory drugs. Oleic acid, the primary fat in olive oil, reduces the production of inflammatory cytokines and protects LDL cholesterol from oxidation. A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine, the PREDIMED trial involving nearly 7,500 participants, found that a Mediterranean diet supplemented with extra virgin olive oil reduced the risk of major cardiovascular events by 30% compared to a low-fat diet. The key is extra virgin and cold-pressed, which preserves the highest concentration of polyphenols. Use 3 to 4 tablespoons daily. Drizzle over vegetables, use as a salad dressing base, or eat with whole grain bread. Do not use it for very high heat cooking. Gentle to medium heat preserves its anti-inflammatory compounds. Food 1. Walnuts. The most underestimated anti-inflammatory food in your kitchen. And number 1, the food that surprises people most, and the one most people already have at home but are not eating intentionally. Walnuts. Of all the plant foods studied for anti-inflammatory effects, walnuts are consistently among the most powerful. They are the only nut with a significant amount of all of the plant-based omega-3, providing 2.5 grams per 1 ounce serving. They are rich in vitamin E in its gamma-tocopherol form, which specifically targets nitrogen-based free radicals, a type of oxidative stress particularly prevalent in joint and brain tissue. But what makes walnuts truly exceptional is their impact on the gut microbiome. A 2020 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who ate walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed significant increases in beneficial gut bacteria, including lactobacillus and butyrate-producing species, and measurable reductions in inflammatory markers. Because the gut controls up to 70% of immune function, feeding the gut the right food is one of the most direct ways to reduce systemic inflammation throughout the entire body. 1 small handful, about 14 walnut halves every day, is all it takes. Add them to oats, salads, or eat them as an afternoon snack. The consistency is what matters. Bringing it together. Chronic inflammation after 40 is not inevitable. It is addressable. And you do not need a prescription or a supplement routine to start. You need a better grocery list. Here are your 7 inflammation-fighting foods. Number 7. Turmeric with black pepper, to switch off the inflammatory gene. Number 6. Fatty fish, to correct your omega ratio and resolve active inflammation. Number 5. Ginger, to soothe joints and heal the gut. Number 4. Leafy greens, to flood your body with antioxidants and support hormonal balance. Number 3. Berries, to protect your brain and neutralize cellular damage. Number 2. Extra virgin olive oil, nature's liquid anti-inflammatory with clinical proof behind it. And number 1. Walnuts, the most underestimated food for gut health, brain health, and whole body inflammation control. You do not need to add all 7 at once. Pick 2 or 3 this week. Build the habit. Your joints, your brain, and your energy levels will feel the difference within 2 weeks. And if this was helpful, please hit like and subscribe. We cover science-backed natural health every single week, designed specifically for women and seniors who want to age on their own terms. See you in the next one.